think a judge will look at it and say, that is so extraordinary as to be incredible. You're asking for $2 billion in disgorgement in a case where there's no actual fraud.
All signals point towards this administration developing a CBDC that can and will be used to surveil and control Americans.
Looking at central bank digital currencies as a whole, the reality might surprise some folks. Really, truly, almost half of the world's population will be using digital monies in short order.
There's a lot of innovation happening in the banking system, and that is terrific. We like to see banks engage with financial innovation in a way that will help them better serve their customers, the businesses, their households, or their counterparties.
Yeah, we toyed with the idea early on, and I think it's awesome that we now have that as part of the system, and I'm super excited about it. It's
the birth of electronic payments. Imagine a world where every check payment involved a physical exchange. Banks had to send paper checks to a central location.
Know what you hold?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
Got a baggie. Welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. Shout out to the latest. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.74 trillion, up about 0.2% in the past 24. We got XRP currently in that number 8 spot, right around 53.54 cents. Stellar XLM right around 11 cents. We got BTC 70,291. ETH right around 37 hundo. We got Flare Networks right around 0.028. Axelar $0.02. We got XDC right around 0.036. Songbird 0088. Stronghold 0082. We got Zahao right around 12 cents. Evernode 24 cents. We got Bragg Garland House to pop things off. There's one thing all of us in tech can agree on. It's high time we dismantle the scammers once and for all. Proud that Ripple is joining this coalition along with others in the industry. Heavyweights. We got an accelerated shift to instant payments across Europe. Ripple, May 18th, 2024. Instant payments continue to forward march as a transaction method of choice for consumers and businesses across the European Union and the United Kingdom. June 2023, the EC published proposals for the Payment Service Directive 3 and the Payment Service Regulations in an attempt to keep pace with the rapid developments in the electronic payment market. Today, 1 in 3 EU payment service providers do not offer instant euro payments, and up to 70 million payment accounts in the euro area do not allow holders to send and receive instant payments. In many cases, instant payments cost much more than traditional money transfers, often as much as 30 per payment. Payment proposals signal UK progress. In the UK, the faster payments systems enables payments to move quickly and securely to and between the UK bank accounts 24 hours a day. In 2022, the faster payments saw massive processing growth. MPA will drive adoption of the ISO 20022 financial messaging standard and deliver new real-time payment products. High and hiccups with the new payment systems. According to a PCW survey, 42% of respondents felt strongly that there would be an acceleration of cross-border, cross-currency, instant B2B payments in the next 5 years. Also encouraging the shift to digital is bullishness around the more efficient distributed ledger technology such as blockchain. Moreover, Sovereign everywhere are expressing a desire to break dependency from international card schemes for on and offline payments. We got payment infrastructure news breaking changes to the ISO 20022 schedule. SWIFT is softening the end of the coexistence phase for MT and MX messaging, which was originally planned for November of 2025. This is intended to ease the burden of FLs that are still struggling with the statements and reports. Stuart Alderati says Gensler overplayed his hand. He thought that crypto was an easy target. He relished being that guy that everyone loved to hate. He thought he was above congressional oversight. That's all gone. He's now a struggling political liability. XRP drops. You're asking for $2 billion in disgorgement in a case where there's no actual fraud.
Case, the all-important Ripple case that is coming near its end, at least in the trial court, in the U.S. District Court. What are you thinking, JW, in terms of this very last but extremely important part, which is what are the remedies that are likely to be awarded against Ripple and in favor of the SEC? How are you looking at that?
Well, we're seeing the SEC acting like a bully, and this is not unusual. There have been a number of cases where the Supreme Court has come down on the SEC's abuse of disgorgement profits, limited to the ability to disgorge net profits, which significantly limits their power. And yet they still ask for outsized awards, well beyond the scope of what they're allowed to get from SCOTUS. Why? I don't know, because they consider it a negotiation with the judge. But hopefully at some point a judge will, and I think maybe in this case a judge will, because the judge held for Ripple in most of the substantial allegations. I think a judge will look at it and say, that is so extraordinary as to be uncredible. You're asking for $2 billion in disgorgement in a case where there's no actual fraud, and a $2 billion award, that was raised. I have a lot of boys who play baseball, and when you whine to the umpire after you lose, it never goes well. And I think that's what we're seeing from the SEC, to be honest.
Bitcoin Magazine Justin U.S. Congressman says CBDCs threaten to destroy the American way of life. Unlike decentralized digital assets like Bitcoin, XRP, CBDCs are monitored by the federal government.
This week, House Republicans, as Blake just said, are going to take action to safeguard our American values by passing my bill, the CBDC, or the Central Bank Digital Currency Anti-Surveillance State Act. With this legislation, we're going to stop unelected bureaucrats in the Biden administration from using a central bank digital currency, again, a CBDC, that threatens to destroy the American way of life. Unlike decentralized digital assets such as Bitcoin, CBDCs are a digital form of sovereign currency designed, issued, and monitored by the federal government. In short, a CBDC is a government-controlled, programmable money that, if not designed to be just like cash, open, permissionless, and private with a capital P, it not only could, it will give the federal government significant transaction level data on individuals and the ability to suppress politically unpopular activity. We've already seen examples of foreign governments weaponizing their financial system against their citizens. In China, the Communist Party actually has the digital yuan that is being used to monitor its citizens, and they are building social scores based on behaviors. Again, that's an anti-American approach. Close to home in the Western Hemisphere, Canada froze the bank accounts of hundreds of truckers protesting the vaccine mandate in 2022. If you think it can happen, think again. It has, and it will if we allow this to happen here. It's naive to believe that your government will not weaponize the tools that it has to control you. This may be why the Biden administration issued an executive order placing urgency on CBDC research and development. All signals point towards this administration developing a CBDC that can and will be used to surveil and control Americans. The Federal Reserve has even described it. Don't listen to them when they tell you that they're not doing anything. The Federal Reserve has already described CBDCs as one of their key duties in a document that was provided to my office. In doing this, the Biden administration has proven they are itching to trade Americans' right to privacy for a CCP-style surveillance tool. House Republicans are not going to let that happen. 165 members of our conference have co-sponsored our CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, and it has garnered wide industry support.
CBDC or no CBDC? Let me know what you think down below. We got Smoke Dog. This year, the rollout of CBDCs will begin. The reality might surprise some folks.
Looking at central bank digital currencies as a whole, the reality might surprise some folks. Really, truly, almost half of the world's population will be using digital monies in short order. We expect to see more than 25 central bank digital currencies in pilot programs, more than 15 rollouts this year. China is already there, as are all of the major Chinese banks, and the rest of the world's heading there quickly as well. And from our institutional adoption report in March, we know the world's leading asset managers see the same trend, because 40% of them are already supporting or building out functionality for some form of stablecoins or central bank digital currencies.
Meanwhile, radar hits Justin. Trump campaign vows to build a crypto army. XRP Army, know what you hold. Meanwhile, now accepting crypto, Donald J. Trump demonstrating President Trump's success as a champion of American freedom and innovation. We proudly offer you a chance to contribute to the campaign with cryptocurrencies. Saving our nation from Biden's failures requires your support. As Biden piles regulations and red tape on all of us, President Trump stands ready to embrace new technologies that will make America great again. XRP. Know what you owe, know what's coming, and know why. They want you out. We got subject views. There's a lot of innovation happening in the banking system, and that's terrific. Michael Esbar.
The Federal Reserve has a novel banking program now. Some banks, you sort of move into that space either, through some of their business lines or non-traditional products. What's your thoughts on novel activity and banking as a service and fintech relationships as you see them today?
It's a great question. There's a lot of innovation happening in the banking system, and that is terrific. We like to see banks engage with financial innovation in a way that will help them better serve their customers, the businesses, their households, or their counterparties. And that kind of financial innovation can be especially helpful in staying competitive, in improving efficiencies, in improving access and outreach. But we need to make sure that it's done in a way that is within guardrails, so that we protect consumers and we protect the financial system from risk. And so we set up this novel activities group to help our supervisors on the front line and the banks they work with better understand those risks and manage them. And I think it's worked well so far. Those teams have been really helpful in working with banks that are involved in novel forms of banking as a service or engaged with the crypto sector. When banks do that, we want to make sure they have the risk management in place in advance of getting involved, not afterwards. We have a number of banks that manage these risks really well, banks of all sizes. But we have some banks that didn't put in place the right risk management structures in advance and got themselves into real trouble. And so we don't want to see that either. So, we want financial innovation within these guardrails.
Responsible.
We got Stephen Neroff. The White House recently released a statement that, despite expectation, it will veto the House crypto market structure bill. This announcement, while showing the administration's willingness to collaborate with Congress, underscores a critical concern. The Biden administration believes the industry lacks adequate consumer and investor protections. It's hardly a surprise that a typical word on paper that promises nothing substantial after Trump's pro-crypto stance came to light. It especially highlights the positions of Biden's appointees like Gary Gensler and fellow Democrat Elizabeth Warren, both who have shown their anti-crypto. Gary Gensler's role is to establish a clear guidelines, frameworks to safeguard consumers and investors, so why the inaction? This maneuver is a classic political spectacle crafted to consolidate power or control for those at the top. It's not about protection, it's about leverage. We got Sorbonne official, the Stellar Development Foundation, Stellar Org co-founder Jed McCaleb discusses the opportunities for builders using smart contracts on Stellar.
Yeah, we toyed with the idea early on, and I think it's awesome that we now have that as part of the system, and I'm super excited about it. It's a big greenfield for folks, for developers. It's I think we've built something that's a system that's very easy for developers to use, and the awesome thing about it is it like interfaces with the rest of the Stellar network, which actually has real money coming on and off. And so it opens up a lot of different use cases that I think aren't available in other systems.
We got Stellar Org CEO Danielle Dixon spoke with FinTech Frank of Block about the crypto industry progress towards creating more equitable access to the global financial system. Get into it. Scoop. We got Stronghold. Ever wonder where ACH payments started? Watch our latest video with the creative director to uncover unknown history of ACH payments. FinTech. Stronghold.
Our story begins in the 1960s, an era marked by innovation and change. Amidst the backdrop of the moon landing and the civil rights movement, another revolution was quietly taking place: the birth of electronic payments. Imagine a world where every check payment involved a physical exchange. Banks had to send paper checks to a central location, employees manually sorted them, and then they were dispatched to their respective banks. It was time-consuming, error-prone, and costly. The pioneering effort to create the ACH system was a federal initiative to ensure timely payroll for U.S. Air Force personnel. The success of this initiative led to an expansion to other employees, and the government adopted it as a major payroll standard. At the same time, as the number of paper checks was growing rapidly, bankers were concerned that the current situation would soon prove unsustainable. In response, they created the Special Committee on Paperless Entries, SCOPE, and turned to newly commercialized computer technology. And so, the ACH network was born.
We got Flare Networks. USDX will be the first native one-to-one backed U.S. stablecoin on Flare Networks, powered by the leading institutional digital asset custodian, Hex Trust. USDX launches with a dedicated clear pool fin vault, enables holders to earn real-world yield. Flare Networks, USDX. We got one from Mustache Altcoins. I told you several times that the market would become interesting again in the second half of May. Total 2 has broken out of the descending, broadening wedge to the upside and is currently retesting it. Watch your altcoins fly. We got Dark Defender. Hey y'all, this is a quick update on XRP in the daily time frame. As we discussed, had a break in the weekly time frame. I set a smaller 5-way structure to see the detail levels. XRP follows the RSI trend online and is above 50%, which is good. The break is confirmed. We expect the price to be above the Ichimoku cloud to discuss more bullish formation. Supports 5251, 5126, resistance 5888, 6827, 90 cents, $1.21. XRP will test 58 cents in a couple days. Enjoy. And with that being said, Batman and Bag Ladies, the longer the base, the higher in space. Here we have Apple Inc. 1980s to 2005, this thing stayed below $1, and then you see what occurred after that. Currently sitting at $190. 8,820 days to accumulate. 24 years. The best is still yet to come. XRP won't take as long, but XRP currently at the 11-year mark. The longer they take, the higher we climb on that XRP rich list. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Later, glitches.
Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Gotta pump my bags up, pump it to the moon. Pump my bags up. XRP, pump it to the moon. Pump it up, pump my bags up. Pump it up, gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up, better pump my bags up. Pump it up, XRP to the moon. Pump it up, pump it up. Pump it up, gotta pump my